The Airpods Max get new colors and USB-C charging. That's it, $550 on your head. So, the Apple event just concluded and they just announced 2 new Apple Watches, 2 new versions of the Airpods 4 and the entire iPhone 16 lineup. There's some particularly interesting changes when it comes to the Apple Watches and the iPhone 16 camera features. So if you want to hear more about that, stick around. Hi everyone, welcome back to Life and Tech with SK. I'm SK and today we're going to cover the Apple event so you don't have to. So let's jump straight into it and look at the Apple Watch Series 10. Comparing the Apple Watch Series 10 to the Series 9, the Series 10 is now thinner and lighter. This is helped by the fact that the Series 10 has a new titanium model versus the old stainless steel model on the Series 9. Apple also claims that the Series 10 has the largest display on an Apple Watch yet, which isn't saying much considering the Series 9 had 41 and 45mm models and the Series 10 now has 42 and 46mm models, so that 1mm increase isn't really saying much. However, Apple does say the new wide-angle OLED display on the Series 10 is meant to be 40% better at viewing at an angle. In terms of new hardware for the Series 10, it now has a depth gauge that can go at up to 6 meters or 20 feet underwater and a new water temperature sensor. It also features a new speaker which will allow for media playback on the Apple Watch itself and a new S10 SiP Apple Silicon chip. They didn't mention any performance improvements for this new Apple Silicon chip, they just mentioned that there's a new Apple Silicon chip inside. And it can now charge from 0 to 80 in 30 minutes versus the Series 9's 45 minutes. So there's a nice performance improvement there, although there is no extension to the battery life on the Series 10. There's also some new colors coming to the Series 10, with the aluminium version having jet black, rose gold and silver, and the titanium version having slate, gold and natural. The watch will ship with watchOS 11, and in terms of pricing, you're looking at $399 for the GPS version and $499 for the GPS and cellular version. There's no new noteworthy changes on the Apple Watch 2 Ultra. They do mention that you get more precise GPS tracking and sleep apnea notifications, but you lose the blood oxygen app that the Apple Watch Ultra had. There's also an Hermes version of the Apple Watch 2 Ultra, but yeah, that's about it. In conclusion, it's going for $799, but no new chip, no new screen. I don't think it's worth your time. Switching to the AirPods section, just a prerequisite, all audio features that I mentioned require that you have iOS 18 or above to run. But going to the AirPods 4 without active noise cancelling, you get a slightly newer design. You also get a new Apple H2 silicon chip. They don't mention any performance improvements, they just mention that it's a new chip. And you also get USB-C charging on the case, which is slightly smaller. In terms of audio features, you get voice isolation and personalized volume. Voice isolation essentially attempts to isolate your voice in noisy environments, and personalized volume attempts to adjust the volume depending on the loudness of the environment that you're in. Pricing for these starts at $129. Moving to the AirPods 4 with active noise cancelling, you get all the features I mentioned before, plus active noise cancelling and conversational awareness, where it'll try to reduce the volume of your earphones while you're speaking to someone. You also get speakers on the case, which helps with Find My, and you also get transparency mode, which helps make the outside world as audible as possible. Pricing for these starts at $179. Oddly enough, both AirPods post a drop in battery life going from 6 hours to 5 hours compared to the AirPods 3. I'm not sure if this is because of the smaller case or the added features, but you'll have to decide whether it's worth the drop in battery life, with all these new added features. The Airpods Max get new colors and USB-C charging. That's it, $550 on your head. Which brings us to the AirPods Pro 2. The AirPods Pro 2 have all the features I mentioned earlier, although Apple says has double the active noise cancelling performance of the AirPods 4. But the main meat and potatoes of the AirPods Pro 2 are all its features for the hearing impaired. It has a hearing protection feature, a hearing test feature, and a hearing aid feature, which Apple claims have all been clinically approved, which is pretty nice. Pricing for the AirPods Pro 2 start at $250. Finally, let's talk about the iPhone 16 models. But before that, and before I discuss the hardware features, let's discuss what people are going to be talking about the most, and that's the new camera control button on the iPhone 16 models. The camera control button essentially does what it sounds like. It's a flush button that sits on the side of the iPhone 16 that has haptic feedback and essentially lets you control the camera. So pressing it will open the camera, and it allows you to take pictures or record videos by pressing it or long pressing it. And it also has extra features, which is really cool, where if you light press it, you can cycle through some of the photography options, like adjusting the aperture or zooming in and out or switching between some of the photographic styles, which is really cool. What's interesting as well is Apple showed that Snapchat can also use the camera control button for extra features that are outside of it. So I hope that more apps can pick it up and use the camera control button for other things, if they choose to. Another cool thing they added with the camera control is visual intelligence. So what that lets you do is that if you take a picture of something, you can search basically some information on whatever item that you just took a picture of. So be it a dog, be it a bike, be it, I don't know, your cat. It's essentially Apple's version of circle to search. Jumping back to the iPhone 16 itself, it comes in some new colors, those being white, black, teal, green, and ultramarine. In terms of hardware, it has a new A18 Apple Silicon chip, jumping from the A16 of the iPhone 15. Apple claims that the new A18 has 30% more CPU performance and 40% more GPU performance than the iPhone 15, which is a big jump. There's a new 48 megapixel, what Apple is calling a fusion camera, which is going to combine the main camera and the telephoto lens. So what it'll essentially do is, for the telephoto lens, it'll crop it in from 48 megapixels to 12 to get you that telephoto with a 2x zoom. The 12 megapixel ultra wide on the iPhone 16 now also has autofocus. The iPhone 16 now has bigger and longer battery life, going up to 22 hours of battery life, up from 20 on the iPhone 15, and the iPhone 16 Plus now goes up to 27 hours, up from 26 on the iPhone 15 Plus. The iPhone 16 now comes with the updated Siri, which is boosted by Apple Intelligence, which I think should have happened from the jump when they they made Apple Intelligence. In terms of video recording, you now get spatial video recording, which you can view on the Apple Vision Pro. And in terms of audio mixing, you now get wind and noise reduction, which is really nice. For pricing, you're looking at $799 for the iPhone 16 and $899 for the iPhone 16 Plus, which is up $100 from the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus respectively. Another small bonus that Apple added is that the action button is now available on the base models of the iPhone 16 rather than just the Pro models. So that's a nice little tidbit that they just sneaked in there. Moving to the Pro models, these actually get some larger screens. The iPhone 16 Pro is going to 6.3 inches, up from the 6.1 inches of the 15 Pro, and the 16 Pro Max is going to 6.9 inches, up from 6.7 of the 15 Pro Max. They also get the new A18 Pro chip, which Apple is claiming has 15% more CPU performance and 20% more GPU performance than the A17 Pro of the previous generation. They're also boasting double the ray tracing capability, but I'm not very sure who games on iPhone. If you do game on iPhone, please leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know what kind of games you play, because I'm not very familiar when it comes to gaming there. There's also going to be a new 48 megapixel ultra wide lens, and the Pro models also get the new 48 megapixel fusion camera. Although I'm not sure why, because the Pro models also have their own dedicated telephoto lens, unlike the base models. So will you now get two telephoto cameras on the new Pro models? I'm not too sure, but the new 12 megapixel telephoto lens on the Pro models has 5x zoom compared to the 2x zoom, so maybe that's the trade-off and benefit there. A really nice cinematic feature that they added is that you can record in Dolby Vision at 4K 120 frames per second for that really nice slow-mo shot that you can get. You also can record in spatial photo and video for the Apple Vision Pro, and you get 4 mics at the back of the device to let you choose and mix your audio to get you that studio feel or that cinematic feel. It's a really nice choice in terms of your options that you can switch it up a bit. You get some bigger batteries, where the iPhone 16 Pro goes to 27 hours of battery life, up from 23 on the iPhone 15 Pro, and the iPhone 16 Pro Max goes to 33 hours of battery life, up from the 29 of the iPhone 15 Pro Max. They also added a nice little Wi-Fi 7 buff in there. They didn't really mention it that much, but I saw that they upgraded from Wi-Fi 6E to Wi-Fi 7, so I thought I'd just mention it here a little bit. For pricing, you're looking at $1,000 for the iPhone 16 Pro and $1,200 for the iPhone 16 Pro Max. In terms of colors, you get 4 new colors for the titanium version of the iPhone 16 Pro. You get black, white, natural, and desert titanium. In conclusion, there's a nice boost in performance, there's a nice boost in battery life, and there's a nice boost in screen sizes. You also get the boosted Siri with Apple Intelligence. So yeah, I mean, I really can't complain. There's a lot of improvements all the way around. I think we just have to wait for some reviews and some benchmarks from people to see. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like. It is kind of hard to get these quick turnaround times. It is currently 2:15 in the morning in South Africa. So if you appreciate the hard work and the effort, please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more, because there's more coming. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.